Morning we returned to the airport, and I just discovered this is the largest thatched roof in Africa. The airport interior was very nice with lots of shopping opportunities. I wanted this rhinoceros to go with me, but he wouldn't fit in my suitcase. This flight was an hour and 40 minutes, and they served us lunch on board. The old Livingston Airport has been renovated and just opened in 2017. It's named for Harry Nukumbula, who was a Zambian nationalist leader.
Buildings, I mean,
We're in Zambia.
they really go back
minutes.
to 100 years into the colonial era. David Livingstone Museum, they got some of his original manuscripts, a lot of his documents. When he wrote letters, he made copies of them. And he didn't have a photocopier. I don't know why he didn't just take a photocopier with him or a camera that he could just photograph it with. But so he had to write a copy. And
So
very
people
beautiful river.
on bicycles
And
take goods from
there's a
Zambia,
baobab
ride
tree
30
out there on the right.
miles to Zimbabwe, sell them, get
BAOBAB,
goods in
here's another
Zimbabwe,
one
ride
close
back
by.
on the
You'll see
bicycles
quite a
and
few
sell
of them
them
today,
in
hopefully.
Zambia.
Zambezi River. Roof building at the end of the valley on the right hand side. That's Victoria Falls through the gap here. But
Where?
you can see it's Victoria Walls at the moment because it's on the Zambian side, it's the dry side. On the Zimbabwe side, it has still got water. $30 for a single entry.
Took about an hour to get all the passports
now for 2.5 hours. We'll chat
stamped
a little
with the
bit.
visas
And I'm
handwritten
sure you
in
don't want to
each
listen
one.
to me for
There's some
beautiful
baobab
big old
trees.
baobabs, but you know,
More baobab trees. This is the Hwange Safari Lodge, located just outside of Hwange National Park in Zimbabwe. Next morning, some of us brave souls headed out on a walking safari. Notice our guide is armed.
They feed a lot in some of the trees, which is known as the Dacrystaceous area, which has got very, very sharp thorns. The thorns, they're almost like a nail. And that's why they say never drive over a dry elephant dung, because you might have a flat. That thorn will be sitting in there. Open up this elephant dung,
Birds.
looking for seeds. Just because there will be seed which has been eaten by the elephants and has not been digested properly, they can pick up those seeds and then they feed on them. And people in the rural area, they actually take the dry elephant dung. If someone has got a problem of nose bleeding, that continuous nose bleeding, they burn it, take a blanket, put him over, and then that smoke goes straight into his nose, and inhale the smoke. They say it cures the nose bleeding. And
Buffalo was killed a year
they
ago.
chew the skin if they don't have enough to eat. At the same time, if it's very, very, they are hungry, they will actually drag it into the water, soak it overnight, and then come back the following night. It's going to be soft enough. They'll be able to chew it. So the Cape Buffalo. This was a male. You can tell by looking at the boss. Okay, females, they've got sort of like a skin on over it, but this one is a male.
Baby elephant.
On this
Hyena and wild dogs. Been feeding.
Yes, we can. To attacking the termites. Look at them right at the back there. Walking on a single file, and they're not carrying anything. If they have raided the termites, they were going to be carrying some of them with their mouth.
Okay, here's the landscape we're traipsing through. I'd better catch up. The sandy soil is almost as fine as talcum powder. It's softer and smoother than sand, although it is a little round pebbles from ancient times. These are big elephant footprints.
A couple of days old. And it was following the mother right at the back. About
Elephant carcass.
2.5 years old. This one we think it was shot in a hunting area with a big bull, or was shot, wounded by the poachers. Then he came up to the waterhole and he was seen there for a couple of days.
Head.
But it's just full of, this is what they call a honeycomb, which the brain is underneath. Otherwise, if it was a solid bone, it would be quite heavy for the elephant, on the brain. Otherwise, the elephant walk with the head down. And here, this is what you call the cheekbone. Going right at the back there, that's an ear hole. Set which has been just lost.
They have 6 sets of molars.
And this is a full set which is going to come through. It's quite interesting the time when they lose those molars.
Here's the next set of molars coming in, and these will fall out and those will slide in place. This stuff is like walking through powdery snow. Elephant rubbed its back on this tree and left the mud off his back. This is a buffalo path coming down to the water hole. Over here by the watering hole, there's a lot. Those are marabou stork.
Marabou stock. They are like scavengers, which they'll go on such a kill like the one we saw
These
earlier.
are the marabou stork.
Dead animals, and but here they just go to the lodge has got a place where they empty all the left overs. The food, where they just go and dump it. So they go in there and they help themselves.
The far distance are the impala. They've moved off to the other side of the pond because of us. And there's our hotel.
Some baboons out there.
Yeah.
Overlooking the water hole. There's some baboons down there too.
Just sitting.
Yeah. Some water. They've had a drink, and now they are going maybe back to the hotel. They cover themselves.
Termites.
And up here, I think there's a wood which they're feeding on, taking it back to the colony. You've got some workers, you've got some soldiers which are protecting the colony from those ants which we saw earlier. Remember the ants I showed you?
Yeah.
Yes, they feed on this one. I can guarantee you, if I kick this open, you will see lots and lots of termites coming out.
Oh, wow.
We covered the log.
Yeah.
That's what
But
they do to
have
my house.
They have to go back and hide because if they're not with the sun, they die. They don't want the sunlight on them. If you come back and
They
check
sure
up here
scurried away.
tomorrow, it's all covered up.
Here's the storks from a different angle. And here's all the impala. A nice buffet lunch after that hike. Sure worked up an appetite.